Alrighty, everyone. Welcome to the EagleEye Sprint Review for Sprint 82. Today we have all the devs, all the stakeholders, and let's jump into it and we'll share what we've been working on. Okay, so from the email, you can see that we had the one sprint goal for how customers update their own instances. So this was the incremental update step. Unfortunately, we didn't make this, although there was still a lot of good work done. So which we'll see going on through. So if you could scroll down a little bit, Luke. So time spent, it was...
Oh, sorry.
No, you're right. Oh, sorry, time spent. Yeah, if you don't mind going to that figure. Awesome. Okay, you can see it's a pretty good mix of everyone. Hark and Sam almost on par, and then Luke with a little bit of time which he spent on another internal product. Cool. Let's scroll down to the PBIs. Alrighty, so we've been able to tick off that incremental update notification. So there was just a little bit remaining on this from last week, which was, I believe it was in review or required testing. So we've been able to tick that one off. The bug, so this was also there from last week. It was previously thought that this was a issue with the plausible script, and the name of the PBI has been updated accordingly. But this has been resolved where we've removed the hard coding of the SSW parameters. Cool. Add product vision. I am not entirely sure on that one. Luke, are you able to elaborate?
Yeah. Yeah, sure. So for add product version, so
version. Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. So we now support to see our product version on the portal. So I'll just quickly show the screenshots so it'll be more clear. So this is the pull request. So in the production, you will see this version on our settings, and there's a check for updated feature we will implement later. Yeah, so you can see our version. Yeah. Same for the customer, they will see their version.
Where do I go to get this? I don't see settings on the left-hand side.
You go to portal.
So I believe the screenshots just cropped a little bit too much.
It's been cut. It's actually select the settings in the bottom. Yeah. Screenshot is not correct. Yeah.
Why are you showing me the screenshot rather than the real production instance?
Because it's more quick. I can show you in production.
That wasn't quicker.
Let me show you. So sign to our production, go to settings. Let me zoom in a bit. You will see this version. Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah. And also customer will use this version to check against our latest version and to update. Yeah.
That check for updates is way too far over on the right-hand side. It feels like an orphan. It should be way, it should be just a little bit to the right of the version number. You're checking for an update of that version number. Yeah, no, lower. Yeah. It should be a little bit to the right of 1.41 and then a little bit to the, or underneath it, either way. But I'd put it to the right of it.
Okay. We're actually thinking of do similar things, put it here, but we will let the UX to check this.
Yeah. So, well, I think you don't need a UX expert to do that. I think you can just move it over. And the same thing, that URL field feels very, very wide, and the save button is way over on the right. I think I could be wrong, but I feel the save button should be on the left. And I would make the URL a little thinner, a little narrower, and 2 lines. Yeah, it's just slightly strange to see such a long thing like that. But
just for the record there, the check for updates, moving that to the right, that was my idea, to align it with the rest of the page. But yeah, I mean, we can update this, or we can get another opinion. That's fine.
Yeah, sure. Does anyone disagree with me?
No, I think it's way too wide.
I think there's a better way of solving this problem, but we'll take it offline and talk about it later.
That's good.
Oh, you can't leave us hanging. Just tell us.
Okay, the problem is that we're using a single column flex layout for what is a massive screen. There should be a grid. So you see how you said that URL field was much too long. if the portal, Power BI report and version cells were side by side, all of those.
Yeah.
Yep, I'm with you. I'm okay for you to do that. Yep, do that.
Epic. Cool.
Nice.
Okay, go back to email.
Back to the email. Okay. Version. So yep, very good. App registration. So this was a bit of work complete by Hark, where we've been able to, instead of 3 app registration, we were able to reduce it to 1, and then do a bunch of magic there to make it work well, which simplifies the overall provisioning setup, which is great. The following one down is the documentation update to accompany that. And then we've got automate post-deployment configuration. Hark, do you want to quickly touch on that one?
Yeah, so after deployment is done, we had a manual step to add a portal URI to redirect, but now this is also been part of deployment automation. So
Amazing.
customer doesn't have to do anything manually. Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome. Okay, then the rest of them are still in progress. It's just plucking away at that incremental update stuff, getting the logic. I believe we've done part of it with the actual PowerShell scripts. We need to wire it all up together now. Automate demo DB schema. That was another one that we're working on. This is one that raised a few questions about the future of the product and whether we should be going with Power BI or develop the visuals in-house, but that's something that we can revisit offline. Cool. Any questions so far?
Just on that topic, I would prefer that we get the GitHub stats before we change all the reporting. That's my preference.
So that's I repeated that. I think you told me that, and I repeated that to the team, and we all said we'll get GitHub done first and then come back.
But I can see the merits of it looking as nice as the Yak-Shaver portal looks. But I think I probably would keep both going, certainly for a while, because I like Power BI and I think it's easy for people to modify, and also it's going to likely be expensive to do this new portal. But we'll see.
Yeah. I mean, there's a few upsides to both, but it's good to hear that you're still open to the idea further down the track. That's good. Awesome. Alrighty. Moving on, I'll pass over to Luke.
Yeah, thanks, Toby. So for product deployments, we have 1 deployment for product website and 3 for engine, product, and API. So this is a bit of change. So now we do deploy to production by creating release. So we are deploying them together. Yeah. And next for job execution, all good for last 2 weeks. And next, report views, Stefan, Rick, and Adam, top 3 users. And for the Epic progress, we have 1 done in customer instance setup and 3 in progress. And no update on GitHub integration and Playwright, but we do have a PBI in the next sprint to do GitHub integration. Yeah. R&D, so Asia Marketplace, still customer incremental updates solution. Yeah. And also for Hawk, we are doing app registration automation. And AI tools, no change for me, no change for Hawk. And for Sam, Sam said do not use this graph, and it will consume a lot of token. Yeah. And Sam is also added Yak-Shaver. Yeah. Okay, co-pass the text. And the summary is 41 minutes. Yeah. I speak a lot. Next is Hawk, Sam. So yeah. Who is speaker 1? Not sure. Anyway, moving on. So let me zoom this a bit. So the main work item we worked on is app registration automation using one master app. I think this is the a bigger and change we did. Yeah, so it reduced a lot of manual steps when customer doing install EagleEye. Scroll down and sprint retro. So what went well? So this one is highlighted. So Hawk did a lot of automation, for app registration and also for post deployment setup. So we should reduce the
Is that
process a
first one
lot.
related to? Is the first one related to Playwright at all?
No, it's not. No. Yeah. So automated here
bicep?
means automated
Is it PowerShell? What is it?
PowerShell.
is PowerShell.
Can
and
you put
bicep.
PowerShell dash as a prefix, please?
PowerShell.
And the second one is probably the same PowerShell, isn't it?
Yeah.
I also think one of the highlights that are missing from there is the idea that you guys discussed about replacing Power BI. I think that was, that's real leadership doing stuff like that.
That was my point from second from the bottom there. Lots of forward thinking before mindlessly adding features. Like it wasn't just, okay, this needs to be done now, let's do it. But it was looking forward a bit more. And it's like, okay, we could do this now, which will cut down a little bit of work, but it's just more of a matter of prioritization. But
all right.
I agree.
I would add some extra, I'd add a prefix before that, such as replacing Power BI discussion,
Sure.
I would also call out the fact that, like it kind of happened fast, but I did like how Sam came into the office. I was on an important call and he quickly gave me a heads up. We want to talk to you about some crazy big idea. Get yourself prepared. It's big. We need you to come in.
Corridor conversations, they're very useful. Hashtag no surprises.
Hashtag SSW rules.
Good. I will continue. So next is Sam did a good peer review on HawksPR, and from Toby, lots of forward thinking before mindless adding features. Yeah, and from Toby, how completed lots of PBIs. Good. But didn't go so well. So Toby said Adam and I have like some misunderstanding of the products. It's not aligned. Yeah,
Which,
it's about
Is that true?
Just to add to that, now after that, I think we might be a little bit better, but I thought that you were just completely like no Power BI, but like Power BI must stay. But if you're open to potentially doing that later, then that's okay. But either way, I'm going to try and catch you soon, and we'll go through it.
Probably more accurate would be the project priorities might be out of alignment. You want to replace Power BI, and I want to get GitHub. That might be more accurate.
Yeah, completely.
Yeah. And next, Power BI migration wasn't approved. So it's not valid, right? Yeah. It's just not our high priority right now.
You, Toby,
right.
There you could do more corridor conversations. How would you feel about this? A little bit similar to what Sam did.
Yeah, for sure. I've got plans to try and get onto you in the next couple of days.
And I also think the way that it was sold wasn't as good as, hey, don't you love Yakshaver? Look at this gorgeous portal. Look at this. Imagine replacing all this and forcing everybody to install Power BI. Like, get the person in the same headspace.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, so next, I think it's kind of also related product vision. Yeah, but I think it's more clear now. For Sam, trapped on meetings and PR reviews for the most of sprint. And for her, couldn't do Playwright testing in the sprint. Yeah. And what improvements will be made next week? So Sam have some suggestion on the PR reviews. Yeah. So let's just step on how to do it. Yeah.
So I can give you a quick overview of this. It's just the idea is that we had some PR reviews that were a bit bit hard to get through. And so we're going to review that process and kind of like bookend the creation and resolution of PRs with some AI checking. So have your local AI check your code. Ideally, there's like a commit in the history of this looks all good or these changed or whatever. Then you make sure that prior to making a PR that you can actually explain the whole thing. Because there's always going to be a name against a commit or against a PR, and someone has to take ownership over that. Make the PR and then ask Copilot for review, so that way everyone kind of knows that it's been checked, and then ask someone for review. It's a process change.
Okay, very good. Next from Toby, chat with Alan about product vision. Next, Sam. So Sam, because he's like traveling a lot of meetings, so yeah, he will be more focused.
I'm just going to give you some feedback, Toby, because I understood that you guys all talked to me and we had a quick chat, and I said, hang on, hold your horses, guys. Don't want you to start thinking about this. I didn't know until this moment, until this great retro, that I learned this, that you're upset. I would send a message after. Hey, Adam, I just want to let you know, we put a couple of hours into that. I was pretty G'd up, when you said when you said the words, whatever they were, I don't know. This is super not important. If I said that, like whatever triggered your feeling of this, you should say it so that I'm I'm aligned with, oh, okay, so Toby didn't like that feedback. I would also be curious, ask questions. Adam, out of, give me a percentage chance that, I'm on board with GitHub first, if you are. Like, I'm on board with GitHub first, if you are. Give me a percentage chance of, at that point, if you're happy with GitHub, whether you would agree to switch out Power BI. Is it a 20% chance or 80% chance or whatever? And then you kind of know if what's in my head is the same as yours. Because I would say, I think it's probably an 80 or 90% chance that we would switch that out. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. No, I appreciate
and that. Might allay your concerns if that's what is running through your head.
Yeah. I mean, this was a pretty quick moving thing, right? Like it sort of came about Thursday RV or Friday morning. This sort of
and
like how
also, yeah. But my point is, keep the person who's just annoyed you in sync with what you're thinking, and be curious and ask questions. I would also say, think about the power of percolation. You know that, like, you ever eat spaghetti bolognese when you've just cooked it and you eat it the next morning, you go, wow, it even tastes better. or a coffee, it needs time to percolate. Sometimes people hear it first and they're not that keen because you've been thinking about it for a couple of days and that person's been thinking about it for 10 minutes in a presentation. They haven't had the time to, ruminate over it.
For sure. Okay. Yeah. No, completely fair points.
Okay. Yeah. Next is from me, also from Dan. So we kind of like want to arrange a meeting with all relevant people to go through the ADR for replacing Power BI. So because it's kind of like some just random chat on like Friday, we chat with Toby, chat with Daniel, chat with Adam, but we haven't like sit together. So probably we just have another meeting and just send out some for record email, to record what we think. Yeah. That'll be all. Yeah, I will go to the forecast. Awesome. So I will hand over to Toby.
Yeah. Alrighty.
Before the forecast,
can
we look at the stats from Claude?
Yep. Callum's just dropped a link in the chat.
I mean,
you could open that up and have a look. And Luke, did you want to go through these, or Callum, are you excited to go through them from a fresh set of eyes?
I'm happy to. Up to you.
I will listen to Callum.
All right. So the summary of the meeting: a functional but troubled sprint review planning. Where the team acknowledged a failed sprint goal, deferred critical product direction, and committed 60 points of work. with 60% capacity, and spent 10 minutes debating hypothetical infrastructure scenarios. Does that sound about right?
That's about right.
We got some key decisions there though. So the sprint goal is still the same. The customer incremental updates do not pre-build infrastructure update automation. Pull blocked Azure setup out of sprint. I'm not sure what that means. Pull GitHub user mapping PBI into sprint. All right, there you go. So there's some key decisions that were made, and we deferred Power BI versus marketable product priority, waiting on Adam. A few action items there. So we've got Toby and Adam to discuss Power BI as a critical one, a few other ones. Do you want to move to the next tab? We don't have to obviously read every single word. So it looks like Luke spoke the most, 36% approximately, then Hark, Sam, and Toby. We've got a cool little timeline there with a score of along each one if you want to keep scrolling down. So it looks like the best part was Hark's PBI review completed work, 5 done PBIs. That was the best segment of the meeting, very nice. And then the worst part was at the end. Concerns about infrastructure updates, a long debate about what happens, and Sam eventually called it out as over-engineering. Interesting. And what else have we got in here? What other tabs have we got? So we've got Luke as the Scrum Master and Developer, Hark, Sam, and Toby. Looks like Sam got a star with the highlight. Boom, saved you a bunch of money.
How amazing is this? There's nothing that tells us that Luke is the Scrum Master, or Sam is the process guardian, or even that Toby's the product owner. But it notices.
Yeah.
Yep, it's cool, isn't it? Scroll back up. Anything else in the last tabs? Insights. What's in here? Okay, so we've got some elephants in the room that you guys can have a think about. What else is there?
Now tab.
Yeah. So you got a participation, effectiveness score.
What is this?
Dysfunction metrics. I did prompt it to be critical, so it might be a little bit too critical, but anyway. And yeah, so this is the first meeting that I analyzed with this new prompt. So next meeting, we'll be comparing the next one to this meeting as well, and that's what will show up on this trends tab. And if you can just scroll back down to the bottom, just click on that view on GitHub link right down the bottom. So if you are interested in seeing how it works, I've put it onto this GitHub project with all the prompts and everything. So check that out if you're interested. All right, that's it.
Yeah, looks good. And go back to email.
Alrighty, awesome. Okay, so going forward, we're doing another 2-week sprint with the goal of incremental updates being complete. So same thing from last week. If we scroll on down, so some of the tasks that we in progress, just for the incremental updates and DB schema updates, have been continued onto the new sprint. We've got a couple of other bits and pieces there for Azure Marketplace, whether it's automating resource provider, but also testing the overall customer instance, and then finally creating a video for it. In between there, we're also getting the end-to-end tests added by Hark. GitHub metrics. So we're starting, now that we're towards the end of the Azure Marketplace epic, we're going to be adding some more GitHub PBIs in. So that'll be great. Cool. Finally, adding the PowerPoint skeleton for Adam. That's the lot. Awesome. What was the main?
So the goal with this AI stuff is just for you to tell us if Copilot was accurate in this case.
Sure.
So and the other thing, if you have Sam on this and Luke on this most of the time, and you have Hark on this full time, what's the logic of having a 2-week sprint instead of a 1-week sprint?
Yeah, look, now that we've got 3 developers, I suppose we could actually drop it back to a 1 week, but as it turns out, there's usually divided attention between it, between other internal products and, other email tasks that may or may not pop up during the sprint. So we've kept it at this because it still seems that at each sprint review, we have a decent amount of work, and it's not that we're doing too much admin for not enough dev work. If you disagree, please let me know. Yeah.
My logic is if a person is on a project for at least 5 days or more, that's a sprint review. So if you've got Hark on this for 5 days and even Luke and Sam on it for only 3 days, that's more than enough for a sprint review.
Okay. Sure. Okay. Oh, well, we can discuss it or we can cut it down. But if you're happy to just keep this as a 2-week sprint and then the following one we can reassess.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. Thank you. Cool. Alrighty. Then, back down to the Copilot stats.
This one. Yeah.
Sorry, Luke, throwing you around there. So this is correct. Integrating the incremental updates and getting all that on track has been probably the main focus for the next increment. Amazing. Okay, thanks everyone for joining us today. Oh, sorry, Sam.
I was just going to note on the GitHub stat thing that I don't know how it could have understood this, but we actually have started or pulled in a GitHub integration PBI, a pretty big one. So the sprint is not just finishing off that incremental update, it's also kind of starting off a pretty big piece of work for getting that GitHub integration started, which is important to you.
That is awesome, very important. I do think the most important thing is to make sure that any customer can get this up and running with the current functionality. Okay. A good sprint review, guys.
Yep. Awesome. Thank you. If everyone wants to watch any of the previous recordings, we upload all of these each week to our channel. Amazing. Thanks, everyone. See you next time.
See you guys.
See ya.
Bye.